It's another beautiful day in Portland, Oregon. Here at the Oregon Zoo, we're going to learn a little bit about Packy the elephant. There he is, so handsome. Turns 50 next month.
I'm Bob Lee, elephant curator at the Oregon Zoo.
Great. So Packy's getting up there. Got another birthday coming up.
He is.
50 years old.
It's unbelievable. April 14th is his birthday. He'll be 50, which makes him one of the oldest elephants in North America. And he's just a great example of what an Asian elephant is. Large, powerful, very regal. He really understands his surroundings, and he's always investigating and looking for new things to do.
So there are going to be a number of Packy celebrations. There's something special going on this weekend with the Oregon Historical Society. Why don't you tell me a little bit about that?
Well, I'm going to be putting on a presentation about Packy, kind of what he's taught us, what he's all about here at the Oregon Zoo and the care he receives. And so we're going to give people a little glimpse into his 50 years here and what's going to happen beyond that.
Packy's seen a lot. I mean, the zoo has changed a lot over the past 50 years. I remember when I was a child going to the Washington Park Zoo, it was very different. And even before that, just wandering around Washington Park itself, I could see the old zoo spaces and the places where the elephants used to stay and live, very different from where they are now and very different from where they will be in the next couple of years. Can you talk a little bit about what Packy's seen over those 50 years?
Well, I tell you, we've really learned so much from Packy about what Asian elephants need and how to care for them. You know, back in those days, the idea was to give them a surface that can be cleaned easily to keep it disease-free. So there was a lot of concrete and big bars to keep them in. Now, what we have are exhibits that get the animals outside, get them moving around. It allows us to put them in social situations. But what we're moving toward is giving them choice, because what these guys need is to wander around, make decisions for themselves, decide their own fate, and we want to give them those opportunities because that's the best welfare that you can provide for Asian elephants, giving them the ability to move, to interact in social situations, and make choices for themselves.
What kind of impact do you think, as someone who spends a lot of time with him, what kind of impact do you think Packy has had on visitors to the zoo over the years?
He's had a tremendous impact on people's lives. It's one of the best parts about working here is that you'll have people come up and they'll say, when I was a child, I raised pennies to bring Packy's mom and dad to the zoo permanently. They'll talk about when they were 10 years old, coming out to see Packy when he was 10, when they were 30, 40, and now he's going to be 50 years old. So some of those folks have lived their entire lives with Packy, and we get to share in their stories. And that's one of the amazing parts about being here, not only being a part of Packy's life, but being an extension of everyone's life here in Portland.
Can you tell me any memories you have of Packy? Maybe, I don't know, he's done something funny, something about his character that strikes you in your interactions with him day to day?
Absolutely. I think one of the best things about Packy and what shows his intelligence is when we have new staff members come in, one of the first things they need to learn is how to move the animals through the facilities to get them to the new spaces so they always have something new to do. And oftentimes when you're new, you'll move the wrong door or you'll give the wrong command. And Packy doesn't get confused by it. He'll actually just stand there and look at people and wait for them to realize their mistake, and then they open the right door or they give the correct command. So he's actually teaching staff because he knows these facilities better than anybody because he's been here his entire life.
And tell me a little bit more about what, how things are going to change here at the zoo, and particularly for the elephants, because it's going to be pretty significant.
Yeah, it's pretty exciting. We're going to go from a 1.5 acre footprint that includes everything around the elephant facilities to a 6 acre habitat. We're going to have spaces large enough for these animals to wander around and roam in and out of different habitats, different areas. They're going to be looking for their own food. They're going to be deciding who they're going to socialize with. They're going to be spending their day foraging, like they would in range country. So what really this is all about is turning it over to the elephants to allow them to be elephants. We're going to work with them. We're going to provide the same care and welfare that we do now. We're just going to let them decide what they want to do.
Does Packy have much interaction with Samudra, the youngest elephant that we have so far? We have another one on the way, but, do they interact? Will they eventually?
They've seen each other quite a bit, but we put Samudra out with his father. We want him to learn how to be a big bull elephant from his dad. His dad will be out with that herd for hours every day, and he doesn't mind being in the herd. Packy doesn't want to be with the females unless they're cycling. If they're not, if he comes over and tests everybody and no one's cycling, he'll want to wander away and be left alone. He has a different personality type than Tusco, the father of the calf. So he sees him, but he doesn't spend as much time with him as the other bull does.